there. So let's get into some picks. Let's get into some games. You know what? Screw it. Let's start with the Big Ten. Let's start with your Michigan State Sparties in Michigan. First of all, Jim Harbaugh with a new look. I mean, GQ Harbaugh, first of all, I love that he changed his look, but he made all of his assistant coaches still wear khakis and have the exact same look. That was fantastic. Don't think I didn't see that. I saw him wearing some slick black pants, a nice slick like jacket or whatever, and then I looked behind him, and every assistant coach and every person on the staff is wearing khakis.
Yep.
Great look for Jim Harbaugh there.
He needs to stand out more. He needs to be the guy. He needs to be the center of attention.
Are we getting killer Joe Harbaugh this year? Jim Harbaugh this year?
I don't know about that. I don't think he ever will.
Where are we here with this game? I saw some dreadful things being said on Twitter about this game. Not looking forward to it. Where do you fall? And I should have set the line here. Line's at 24. Michigan is 24-point favorite. Under/over is 52. It seems high. Like, I don't know. Do you feel like Michigan's a really good football team?
Yes, I think that seems a little low to me.
Really? All right, tell me why here. Because I thought my initial reaction was like, man, that seemed high. Because Michigan State played good defense. It was turnovers that killed you all last week, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't block anybody to save their lives.
I'm talking defense here, though. I'm talking like Michigan State still got a good defense, though. So keep it low scoring.
It was against Rutgers.
Yeah, I guess. It's a good point. Hey, maybe Rutgers is a good program.
No, Rutgers it doesn't matter. Rutgers is not good. They might be below average this year.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility. All right, where are you here on this? So you think Michigan is actually good?
I think Michigan's actually good. What I saw from Joe Milton and that offensive line that they have, that offensive line opened up some holes for some running backs that they were able to run through. Joe Milton looked good. He was on during the game against Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota was playing without 6 starters because of COVID, but 3 of those were on the special teams, and you could tell. I could have punted better than that back there.
I did not know that was a thing, but I would never have made that Minnesota bet. I was not aware of the special team situation. That was a legit problem. Like, I've never seen special teams be that bad and that big of a liability, I think, ever in my life, outside of a high school football game.
I don't understand how it gets that bad.
How?
I mean, you can pick up anybody on the campus and they can be better than that. Like, they could walk on. You could grab a walk on and he could at least punt the ball.
Yeah, why weren't we calling the soccer team? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know.
Or the club rugby team.
Get the goalie from soccer over and he'll punt some balls. Like, I don't know what they were doing.
That or like the club rugby team or something. Like, what are we doing
here?
Anything. That was so bad. I couldn't
usually have multiple kickers on your team because they're I mean, sure there were starters that were all out, but like there's backups.
The whole situation was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. But that's the problem is I couldn't tell if Minnesota was good so that what Michigan was doing was impressive or if Minnesota was actually kind of bad and Michigan just beat up on a bad team.
I think Minnesota got caught off guard a little bit. I think Minnesota got caught off guard and Michigan played really well. So it was a little bit of both. I don't think Minnesota is as good as I thought they were, but I still think they're a decent football team, which is a reason for me to believe that Michigan is a very good football team. All the things that they had struggled with in the past, their offensive line, their quarterback, and their defense actually looked pretty good too.
It did.
It was kind of scary. Their defensive line looked dominant, whereas before they would have a bunch of high recruits like Rashawn Gary who never really did anything, or Jabril Peppers on the defense where he never really did anything. Like it was all talk. Now they got some guys back there.
Yeah, I mean, they still got the young secondary, and the secondary was, I don't know. We'll see, because they like to put them on an island. And, I mean, with Michigan State, y'all moved the ball on Rutgers. It's just you had 7 turnovers. Like, you had good passing numbers, 319 yards. Couldn't run the ball.
I was looking at that. It was wild to me.
5 fumbles, 2 interceptions. And that's why I think that number's high, because it's like, I feel like this game, like, don't get me wrong, Michigan, I think Milton's definitely good. I feel good about saying he's going to be a good player for Michigan. I'm nervous to say Michigan's good because they've bitten me in the ass so many times. Like, I was super high on that team that got their doors blown off by Ohio State a couple of years with Chase Winovich and all them. Like, I was legit like, oh, this team is legit. And they showed up looking like a Pee Wee football team. And And it is Rutgers, but I mean, outside, if you eliminate all those turnovers, like, Sparty didn't play good, but the defense
I
was
guess,
competent and the passing game was competent. Like, you don't put up
yeah,
319 yards being incompetent. But I didn't watch the whole game, so I don't have a great feel for Spartan. It just feels high
true.
24.
I guess it was tough for me to watch when Michigan State's average third down play is 9.6 yards.
Damn.
Or
Holy
maybe that was
shit.
second down. What was that?
Breaking
Second down?
news.
Second down was 9.6 yards.
Breaking news. I'm so glad I got this bet in. Trevor Lawrence tested positive for COVID, will not play against BC this week.
Holy shit.
I took
Are you
BC.
kidding me?
If you read the Degenerate Report this week, you got the BC pick early, so you put it in. I took
my
BC to
God.
cover. Trevor Lawrence is tested positive. I'm going in to see if the line's still up on my book to just try to lock in a little extra. But yeah, that's a huge. I mean, it was coming at some point. You knew it was coming. Speaking of COVID, but big breaking news that kind of dilutes the
I mean,
conversation.
you didn't know it was coming from Trevor Lawrence. Like, that feels like the stuff that gets hidden, right?
Yeah, or they had him get it early. They went for their herd immunity.
They had him for this, get him for this game, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Oh, my.
God damn it! I can't log into my freaking account right now. I just temporarily locked it out. Trying to type too fast while doing this. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, so just so we're aware, when I tweet out my card this week, I did have BC in there early, jumped on him at 31. Loving that pick now so much that I locked that in right when I did the Degenerate Report last night. But that's a game changer.
That's a big time game changer.
At least for this week, because the backup situation, I remember the Clemson's pretty beat up.
Wasn't their backup? Did their backup get dinged up a little bit when he was playing a bunch?
Yeah, he got.
Oh no, this is that big DJ guy. Do you remember watching him on? Wasn't he on QB1?
QB1
as a backup?
Maybe.
Do you remember that kid that was running all over the place? Where was he from? Like Bishop Gorman. That.
Oh yeah.
That really not Bishop Gorman.
No, I know what you're talking about though.
But yeah, he was a backup there too, because they had that kid that went to Iowa State who was a runner, more of a running cornerback.
Yeah.
Now we're just kind of rambling.
Sorry, I'm trying to get into my account to also just lock in a new line. But see if it's adjusted at all or not. But yeah, Sparty, it feels like a big line to me because in these games too, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they always seem at least close.
They do. I do feel good about that a little bit. I mean, I honestly didn't even remember them getting blown out last year because I started watching something else. I think were you up for that game too?
Yeah, I was.
Nate?
Yeah,
I think you were up here for that
100%.
game, and we were watching
everybody
some other
was down.
stuff. It was like 41-14 because I was talking to my cousin just like a couple weeks ago, like, yeah, we never really lose that bad. And then he's like, you guys got smoked last year. I was like, I don't really think so, did we really? And then it was 41-14. So if we get another one of those, that's not going to be good. The thing that frustrated me about Michigan State was not getting a push on first down and always ending up back. And then it was like the same run, pass, punt that we're used to for all the years of D'Antonio and all of his shortcomings towards the end of it. And then running a running back in Connor Hayward, who has tricked another coaching staff into being a real running back. All the guy does is run into either the defender or run into his own offensive lineman and get knocked down. Just because he's a hard runner in practice doesn't mean anything. And then they gave their starting running back from last year, who almost had 1,000 yards last year, was the leading returning rusher in the Big Ten, like 9 carries. And he only got 3 yards, but the defense was in the backfield every time he got it. And there were so many plays where the freshman running back or Connor Hayward weren't hitting the hole that was open for them. And Elijah Collins just never got that opportunity because he wasn't getting anything going because he was getting hit in the backfield every time he got the ball. I mean, that's the thing that's frustrating to me. I guess it's more frustrating because it hits a little closer to home. Um, but it is what it is. So we'll see. I mean, I hope they could turn something around here. I guess I'm not as down on Rocky Lombardi as I was before the season, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's too big, or I don't think the line's big enough. I would lean the other way, but I don't bet on them.
All right. So I would just avoid it altogether then, I guess, is what we can do. Well, I mean, Clemson, BC, I'll have to wait to see what that line is, but that now is a dangerous spot for them. I mean, I got it at like 31 or something the other day. Let's see, what did I get it? Yeah,
ESPN just went up to 30.
That's absurd. Hammer that.
Like,
line.
I just saw it at 29.
Hammer that.
Like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, no fucking way. Yeah, that's huge for Clemson to be down that player, and Trevor Lawrence. We'll see where it comes with that. This game feels like an absolute bear trap to me, and I don't know why. Texas, Oklahoma State, -3.5. Oklahoma State's favored. Over-under's 59. Oklahoma State is quietly doing something no other team in that conference wants to do, and that's play defense. Like, that is a solid defensive unit. And I have zero faith in Texas, who can put up points, but the defense is not good. But for some reason, like, in my head, I know Van Gundy's always good for, like, once they get going to absolutely stumble and faceplant on himself. And I'm nervous this is the game. But I want so badly to pick Oklahoma State here. But I'm struggling because I just know, like, Van Gundy's always good to just faceplant when it matters most sometimes. But
yes,
Oklahoma State has won this game like 7 times in the last 10 years.
It's wild because Van Gundy has always shit the bed at least once a year.
Yeah.
Like, when he's not supposed to. Like, he's supposed to have that year where he finally breaks through as the Oklahoma State coach. Well, he's been there for a long time now.
Yes. And they're good. I mean, realistically, I feel like Oklahoma State's a good fan base because they know what they are. Like, they don't have – I feel like they want – like, every fan base wants to be better than what they are, and the goal is always to strive. But I think they realize, like, this is kind of the best it's going to get.
So you're saying they're not Tennessee?
Yeah, no, not Tennessee, to say the least. But I think I'm going to go Oklahoma State here. I know it's a trap. I feel like it's a trap. My foot's going to get caught in the bear trap. But I don't know. Like, they're playing good defense, and I'd rather take that than a Texas team that's wildly inconsistent and literally can't stop falling over itself. Like, it is the snake that eats itself down in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know what to do on this game. So you're not talking me into going one way or another on this one.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry,
fair enough.
Nate, you can't do it.
Other big game I have before we kind of just give out our cards: Ohio State, Penn State, the game of the week, the game of the night. It was looking a lot more appealing last week before the Indiana game, which, by the way, credit to us. We sat here and we said Indiana has been building a program. Tom Allen's really good. Watch out for this Indiana Hoosier team. Like, they have flown under the radar the last couple years. They're always super competitive, and he finally did it. Which, do you think that was a touchdown?
Yes.
I think you had to go with what's called on the field. I don't know how he kept his body off the ground, which is insane.
That is even more of an impressive feat than
that might be the play of the year,
making it to wherever he did.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so
knows where
close.
that ball ended up.
I initially thought no touchdown. Now I'm like, yeah, I think it was. But you have to go with it.
I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, if the ball hit the side of the pylon, the ball wasn't moving any further forward.
Right. But
I don't even know where it really hit. It was so hard to tell.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, ball's down, ball's out. Oh, wait, there's still the tip of the football.
Well, I brought this up last year. I do not know why in the year 2020 there isn't a sensor in both ends of that football. Like, why is there not something at the point of both ends of that football in there? Like, they have like that technology out there. Like, it has to be like you just put up like a wall
Mm-hmm.
And if the point of that ball crosses, easy. Like, it should just be like lights off. I said it last year.
This is the NFL though, or this
I
is
said it with
college
an
football.
NFL game, at least. I know in the NFL I brought
Yeah,
up the point. Like, how do they not have that?
I don't know. I don't know. I truly don't know. They have to figure something out, you would think, but I don't know.
It's dumb. But here's where I'm with this. Penn State, I mean, if Penn State wins that game, we're not having a conversation of how they hang in this game, are we? No. Like, we're not saying they're almost a 2-touchdown underdog in this game, I don't think. And that was a game where you go, turnovers were bad for them. James Franklin's an idiot. That play should never have been put in the hands of the running back. Yes, he probably should have known, but he's a college kid. There's 1,000 things going on. He sees the end zone in the moment. He fucks up.
So I haven't heard this either. How did they not go for two there?
Dude, I don't know. You're asking me to put myself into a mind of an idiot right now. So I don't.
How do you not go for two there? You have a choice between being up 7 or up 9, correct?
How do you not
Or
just
am I
fall
looking
on the
at something?
ball for fucking 3 downs? Like, how do you not have Clifford just take the ball and fall straight down?
Well, that's also true. You definitely should have done that.
Like, how do you not do any of that? I don't understand how these decisions got made. But say they win that game. Are we seriously sitting here thinking like, oh, Ohio State's going to blow them out of the water? We go, because my rationale is this. They made a really dumb error in a weird year, and it was bad. But had they not done that, they won that game. I don't know. I think this line's at a touchdown probably, because that's generally for whatever reason Penn State has Ohio State's number, and they play them close every year. Now they don't have the advantage of Death Valley this year, but still, like, that team played good defense, and the offense was all right. And I don't know, like, Ohio State's offense is phenomenal, but that defense, I don't know, man. I was watching that Nebraska game, and I was like, if you had a little bit more of a competent program going against this defense right now, this might be a game.
Yeah, so I would almost argue that Penn State losing that game gives Penn State more of a chance in this game. Especially from the betting perspective, right? Because now they're like backs up against the wall.
Their season's over if they don't win this.
Their season's already kind of over. But
I mean, they beat Ohio State. Now you got.
they're
a
not
chance.
getting in the college football playoff if they beat Ohio
You
State.
beat Ohio State and you win the Big Ten, you're not getting into the college football playoff? I'm not saying they're doing that. I don't think this team is capable of winning the Big Ten. I'm just saying if they win and then they rip off the rest of their season and they win the Big Ten, I think they're in. Because Indiana's going to be good. Indiana's going to be a good loss.
That's true. Indiana's going to be a good loss. I will agree with that. I don't know how I feel about this game anymore.
And I think I'm going to take Penn State here. I don't feel great about it, but I know historically the Penn State plays them close, especially in the James Franklin era. I don't know how I feel about that Ohio State offense. Or not offense, sorry, defense. The offense I know about. That offense. And by the way, Brian Day, I love you. I love you for going for that touchdown to get us the over last weekend. That is the type of coach I can get behind. That is the reason I can like Ohio State. I've hated Ohio State most of my life. I'm all in on Ohio State. Sign me up, baby. Because a coach that's willing to do that, because I know that was in his brain. None of this practicing stuff. I know he knew where the over was at, and he got it for us over betters. But yeah, I think 12 is a lot. I think
12 is a lot too. But the problem with Ohio State is I feel like they either blow teams out or they just have that one random slip up.
That's true. And it's week 2.
And this doesn't seem like it'll be their one random slip up. So when Ohio State went into their entire summer that they were practicing regardless of being shut down or not, I think their eyes were on this Penn State game anyways from the day they got to camp.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think you've got a Penn State team that knows they messed up an opportunity last week. That's probably pissing them off. They're not going to make, I think, as many. I mean, maybe they get in their heads and they make as many mistakes as they did, but they made a lot of mistakes. That seemed like week 1 rust, and they had no tune-up game. Like they didn't play Nebraska. They played Indiana. That's a good football team in the Big Ten. Like there was no tune-up there. There was no real margin of error there. I mean, Penn State absolutely dominated them for most of the game, but it was a team that like at any moment could come back on them. So I don't know. I'd like Penn State at 12, but let's get into my card real quick, and you can give your card here. I have Penn State on my card I had them at plus 13. last night. The line has moved. I'll take them at plus 12. I've got UNC here against UVA. 7 is the line, I believe. Maybe it's moved down to 6. But I like UNC here. The offense is really good. UVA's defense is bad. Yeah, they played the good game against Miami, but the weather was atrocious. Like, that was a factor in there. Miami's always good to have duds. I don't like UNC. I do think they're frauds. But a 7-point game, I sort of like them here. UVA struggles to move the ball offensively. I don't like their defense. I've got UC minus 7 against Memphis. Memphis is the exact same team as SMU. They move the ball on offense. They play no defense. UC's a fundamentally good football team on both offense and defense. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're good, well coached by Luke Fickell. I have a future bet out on them, as you know. They're one of my favorite teams this year, and that's saying a lot as a Xavier fan. But I'm putting my personal feelings aside. I'm trying to make the Trophy Kids some money here. I'm trying to make myself some money. You know, we're in it to win it here. I've got Notre Dame. I'm going back to my Notre Dame roots. Some may have said I was the Notre Dame whisperer to start the season, 5-0. Then what giveth taketh away. That's a famous line, right, from something. It feels like a Shakespeare type of thing or something. My powers were taken away to see the Notre Dame board clearly, but I'm seeing it here. 10.5 first half. Georgia Tech is bad. I mean, bad. We allowed ourselves to believe this team was going to be somewhat decent this year, and they're terrible. They're giving up 41 points a game. Notre Dame gets out of the gate fast. In the first half, combined, they have 114 points. Their opponents have 29. So I like Notre Dame here. First half, 10.5. I like Oklahoma State, -3. I like Arkansas here against, I forget who they're playing now. Texas A&M. Line's at 12. Arkansas sneakily competitive. Whoa. Yeah, and I think A&M's due for a come down after having a big game last week. Like, I don't love this Texas A&M team, and this Arkansas team's playing teams close. So I got 12 there.
They're 4-0 against the spread.
Yeah, they're great right now. They're way under the radar. Great team there.
I like that pick.
And then I had, what was the other one I had? Sorry, I got to get the line. I forgot to write it down. Oh, there it was. Missouri versus Florida. Florida hasn't played in like 3 weeks. That defense was bad before they went on their break. I can't imagine it's any better. I mean, they haven't been able to really practice because of COVID issues. The offense is really good, but 13 seems big. I like Missouri 13, plus 13. Those are I'll probably add to it game day, but that's what I've got right now.
I like a lot of those. So I'll just I'm just going to scroll down the schedule and we're just going to shoot. We're just going to pick games here at random.
Big gut.
Also mixing in
big
some
gut.
of Nate's picks. This is all gut here. I'm going with the UC pick. I like the UC pick. I like what I'm seeing out of them. Keep scrolling down.
Oh, the Virginia Tech Louisville over at, what was it, 67 I'm considering. I haven't picked it yet, but I'm considering that over because Virginia Tech puts up points in Louisville. I mean, they're not.
They're Louisville.
Yeah, they're Louisville. So I'm considering it. I'll tweet it out on Saturday, but just know that's on my radar, that over right there.
I liked the Notre Dame pick. That one I'm going with as well. I don't know what to do with LSU Auburn. LSU seems like they might have found their next quarterback. Is that what it looked like?
Yeah,
Or
kind of.
maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more there. They're in I don't know what you do with them. I don't like Auburn right now. Auburn.
I don't either.
I do not like that football team. That's not a good gambling football team. They're not good for picking purposes. I don't like them.
I'm not seeing much else that I really like
I
here.
don't love the board. It's not great. I'm staying
I liked the Arkansas pick as well.
Kansas State. That was the other pick I liked.
I liked the Missouri pick.
Kansas
State was also one that I was thinking of because Kansas State is 4-1, not only in their real record, but also against the spread. The Mountaineers are only 2-1.
Yeah, I don't like them as a football team
and
right
it's a 4-point spread. I kind of like that Kansas State one as well.
I got nothing there. I haven't watched a single play from either one of those teams, so I'm not doing that. But I do like Kansas State +4. That's also on my card. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. Get that in the
So which one was the one you didn't like? Or that you hadn't watched?
Oh, Kent State. I don't know anything about Kent State football this year.
I was talking Kansas State.
Oh, I thought you said Kent State. I was like, I haven't watched a single play of Kent State. I couldn't tell
The
you.
MAC hasn't started yet.
I was about to also say that.
The MAC is coming back. The MAC is coming back.
I was starting to look at the board.
I think it's like middle of November. I think it's like a week or two from now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was looking at the board. I was like, I don't see any other MAC teams on here. What is he looking at? But okay, cool.
That was the other one that I liked too. I liked Ole Miss against Vandy. Vandy's terrible, and Ole Miss can put up some points. Now, they do have to cover 16.5 here, but they can put up some points on offense, and they will do that against Vandy.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin's got a point machine down there in Ole Miss.
Yep, he sure does. So that was the only other one I wanted to add.
Nice.
That's pretty much all I got.
All right, I feel pretty good about that board. I got nothing else. You got anything else before we wrap this up?
Nope.
Hope you got your BC picks in. Hope you looked at the Gen report today and locked in those picks this morning, because man, is that looking real good. All right, we will see you all next week, and as always, peace.
Peace.